Hey guys, Omni here. I just wanted to share with you guys my first impressions of the Razer Ouroboros versus the Deathadder 2013 edition. I picked these both up at a local shop. I paid $54.99 for the Deathadder 2013 and $129 for the Ouroboros. Alright, jumping in, we'll start with the Ouroboros. When I first look at the packaging, it's actually really nice. It looks really good from the outside. Kind of looks like the tumbler from Dark Knight, which is pretty cool. But with this guy, looks can be a little bit deceiving. When I first touched it, the mouse is a little slippery unless you kind of warmed up your hands already from gaming. It's funny because it looks like it would have a decent grip, but it just doesn't. I'll start with the things that I like about the Ouroboros. We'll start with the adjustable palm rest. Sliding back, both back and forth, and up and down with the palm rest. So, there's a lever on the bottom, right here. You basically push down on that. I can't really show you because I'm using one hand on the camera and my other hand free here, so I'll just kind of give you an example. So you press these buttons back here, just behind that little disc, and then these two will slide up and down the track to adjust the length of the mouse. And then another cool feature is this little spinner here actually adjust the palm rest up and down. So it'll either come up and lean forward, or it will slide back and this piece kind of leans up. So that's kind of the customization that you get with it. Also, the two side panels come off here, and in the place it slides a rubber grip. It's just a flat rubber grip. It doesn't wing out like that, and that gives you that grip. So let's start with a few things that I liked. The customization, of course, is really good. The look and feel of it is excellent. I mean, look at it. It's symmetrical. It looks great. Like I said earlier, it looks like the tumbler from Batman, and who wouldn't want that? I know I do. So it has a quick DPI adjustment, so you click that in and it changes DPI on the fly. It has 4 buttons, 2 here, 2 there. See if I can, 2 here to adjust DPI. It glows green on the sides and on the scroll wheel, and this little battery indicator glows green as well. It has a charging dock, which is, it's really sticky. It's almost like a wet rubber. It sticks really well. It comes in wireless, so it's wireless, so you can charge it. Basically, you just you line up those 2 metal balls with these balls. It just sits and it charges. I have it in wired mode right now. You can take this out and you just plug it in the back there, and that changes it into wireless mode. You have to excuse me if my accent comes out. I'm Canadian. So I'll let you know that right now in case you want to shut the video off. Yeah, so I'm just trying to, I made a few notes here, so you just excuse me. So I guess really the good things that I like about this is the DPI is great. Sorry, rather than DPI. I mean, it's high DPI. I don't really use it that high. 8200 seems like overkill for me. I usually use it in the 1600 to 2000 range. And then if I'm playing Battlefield or something where I'm in a tank and I have to spin quick, I'll crank it up to like 4000 and use it like that. Other than that, I think, 8200 is huge. I don't think anybody really uses that unless you have, a 6-monitor iFinity setup. So it tracks really well. It does a good job. Not as good as the Deathadder, but it does good. The Synapse software, it's Synapse 2.0 already, so you can kind of, this is a Razer mat here. This is the Vespula Mass Effect Edition. I'm using the control side. The software is really nice. I mean, you can adjust the DPI, you can set some things up, you can change what the lights do, and you can actually select your mat. So it has custom configurations, so it'll automatically adjust to whatever mat you select. It's got mostly the Razer mats for your selections, but you can also add a custom mat and do kind of your own tracking on it to adjust. Um, Other than that, I mean, that is the good. It tracks well. It looks good. It feels okay, but those are really the only positive features. I kind of have to go into the bad, and unfortunately, there's more bad with this than good. Um, First of all, it's very slippery. It has no grip to it. Yes, it does feel nice in your hand, but it's still kind of slippery. You have to get some sweat on those palms from gaming before you can really enjoy the feel of it, which is unfortunate. It feels a little cheap. I've used Rat 7s in the past. It feels kind of cheap. It's just plastic. They do a good job with the Teflon feet on all the accessories, so it does slide really nice, but it's just build quality for $129 just doesn't seem like it's there. Architecture-wise, it's there. I mean, the design of this is great. It's a $129 design, with $50 worth of plastic. So it just doesn't seem, that it's hitting that price point as far as quality. The DPI adjustment, the throttle, annoys me. It's hard to press. When you try to press it, you end up hitting these buttons on the other side, which is kind of annoying. I've disabled these because I was just tired of spamming them whenever I want to do something with this side of my hand. Because often I like to kind of press in a little bit to get a good grip on the mouse, and unfortunately that interferes with these buttons, which is kind of the trade-off, I guess, to having a perfectly symmetrical mouse. So those of you who like to use the thumb a lot, you're going to find this annoying. You're going to want to turn that off if you decide to go with the mouse. The bad. Everything else seems to be fine. I did find a glitch where the light flickers. I don't know why. When it's in wired mode or wireless, the light just seems to flicker. Even if it's just sitting on the mouse pad like that, it just kind of goes off. So if I'm having that issue, I'm guessing other people have that issue. I can't. Another bad thing is, even though all of this adjusts, I can't find the sweet spot of this mouse. And maybe it's just me because I have a hybrid grip. I have kind of a fingertip palm, so it's not a full palm, where I'm up on it and I'm choking on it. It's a relaxed palm where I use my fingertips to kind of steer, and then kind of this part of my hand. Sorry, I can't really show you that. There we go. To kind of maneuver the back part. So all in all, okay mouse, not worth $129. It does what it does. If you're really into aesthetics and you really want a mouse that just looks awesome, if you're gonna have people over and they're gonna say, "Man, that's a sweet mouse," but for gaming and the actual application of this mouse in a game is not really good. The buttons are kind of good. The 4 buttons are good for an MMO, but a first-person shooter, the DPI throttle is just too hard to use. These buttons are decent, but you're kind of stuck with 2 buttons, really. Most people will leave these 2 as DPI shifters. It just makes sense. So, I don't know, not that great. So, I'll move on to the Deathadder. Now, I bought these 2 at the same time. I thought this was going to be the underdog because of the price point, because it doesn't really adjust. It's got some nice new features, and I'll get to that in a second, but it's the Deathadder. Everybody knows what the Deathadder is. It has a really high reputation because it is good, but it's nothing new or unique. So I was hoping that the Ouroboros would be kind of a breath of fresh air, something new, something sleek, and this turned out to be the find of my gaming mice ever. This is now my favorite mouse. They've just added a texturized rubber here. A pretty simple idea, but it makes a world of difference because, you're resting your fingers there, and some people will have their third finger up with your right click, your middle finger there. I keep mine down at the side, which gives me kind of a double grip, because there's a grip on the other side as well, which is nice. And the green looks really good. That's kind of the 2013 thing, so if you don't like the green, I mean, you can always get the old one. or you know, not buy this mouse, but I like the green. It's kind of different. I had an all red setup. My PC is liquid cooled, all red, but I don't know. I might switch to green. This looks kind of good. It's kind of different. But the best thing about this, sorry, I know I said that already, is the sensor. It is the best sensor I ever had. It's so responsive. It's super comfortable to use, and I have a little game that I kind of play. I'll put the link in the description, but it's basically a mouse testing game where you have to click on discs that appear and disappear, and this thing kicks every other moose's ass. It's just awesome. It's so precise. You don't have to, like, basically what I did was I wanted to kind of compare apples to apples the best as I could. So what I did was I set this to 1800 DPI. I set the Ouroboros to 1800 DPI, and this thing smokes it every time. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because it's lighter or it glides easier or what it is, but it just seems snappy and precise. So I really like the Deathadder for that. And the price point. I mean, for $54.99, I feel like you're getting a better product here than the almost triple the cost Ouroboros. So that in itself speaks wonders. Now, I've played with every Razer mouse, the Imperator, the Taipan. I actually just took a Taipan back because I just tried that last week. I've played with the Xi series, a few of the Rocket mice, Logitech G500, G9X. You know, I've tried a lot of mice. I've had 3 Rat 7s. Finally, actually, I had a Rat 7 2 weeks ago before I decided to go with these new mice, and it just kept having the same sensor issue. It would just stop working for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and it was driving me nuts. So finally I just said, you know what, I'll switch back to Razer. I had a Lycosis a couple years ago. It was good, so I went with that. Pretty happy with this. I think I'm going to be keeping this, sending the Ouroboros back. Unfortunately, looks great, you know, but I don't think I'm going to miss it. All right, I think that sums everything up. I know that I missed some features and stuff, and please don't grill me. I just kind of wanted to give you guys some thoughts on it from a guy who just, you know, likes to game in his leisure. So like, throw a comment in, subscribe if you'd like. I'd like to start doing more of these videos. I do get quite a bit of hardware, so I do work a 9 to 5, so if you do leave comments, you know, I'll answer to them after I put the kids to bed. And enjoy, and if everything goes well, I hope my next review will be of the Black Widow 2013 Ultimate that I actually picked up as well, so hopefully I'll be able to show you guys that. Alright, thanks a lot. Bye.